Good morning, everybody, and welcome to The Balancing Act. We're having some fun, as always.
Always.
I'm Julie Moran.
And I'm Olga Viverdi. Speaking of fun, all right, what is your favorite Disney movie? I know mine.
Oh my gosh, Beauty and the Beast.
That's mine.
But then you go to Frozen, and then Snow White scared me to death, and there are too many.
All right, and there are too many, but get this, there is a way you can have all your favorites from Disney, Pixar, and Marvel Entertainment on your digital devices utilizing streamlined access. Girlfriend, get the popcorn ready.
Oh my gosh, that is too cool.
It's the best.
Oh, and switching gears here, we're going to learn more about Restless Leg Syndrome and what's being done to help those who suffer from it.
Also, how one local South Florida university is helping those who want a higher education and achieve their goals.
So much on today's show. The Balancing Act starts right now.
As many of you know, this year it's all about Star Wars. December 18th is a huge day for Star Wars fans. Star Wars The Force Awakens hits theaters. My family and I honestly can't wait to see this movie. We also can't wait for something very special called Disney Infinity 3.0. What is it? Well, today we're speaking with David Mayernick from the production team at Disney Interactive to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here.
You love Star Wars?
Of course. Who doesn't?
Doesn't love Star Wars. Oh my gosh. And this Disney Infinity 3.0,
Yep.
I know it's a fun game. Give me a little sneak. What is it?
Right. So 3.0 edition is the Star Wars edition, and we're introducing Star Wars characters from across the entire universe.
Okay.
And with the Force Awakens playset coming out, we really feel like we have the complete Star Wars experience. So if you're a mom or dad who loves Star Wars, this is a great, fun, interactive way to introduce this world to your kids.
And I love that idea, David, because I mean, so many things today that don't involve the family, to be honest, and this is a great way for that family game night, family time together to play.
Yeah, we're utilizing technology in a fun, positive way, and the great thing about Infinity is there's something for everybody.
I know in our green room we have a family right now. Who's playing?
Yeah, Hunter, Holden, and Lee are over there playing right now.
So I just take Obi-Wan and put him over here, and that switches the characters?
Yeah, once you take Yoda off and you put Obi-Wan Kenobi on, you switch the characters.
Tell me what we're seeing right now.
So they're in Twilight of the Republic, which is our playset that comes with the starter pack. So there's two ways to play. There's playsets and the toy box mode. Playsets are true to property experiences, kind of like your traditional mission-based gameplay, right? And you put that playset piece on the base, and you're transported into that world. And you can kind of immerse yourself into it, right?
All right, let's watch and see what this family's doing right now. Let's take a look. Okay, what's going on there?
Okay, so right now we did an entire combat upgrade, right? So they're checking out new combo moves. They're using their force, push and pull powers, and they're going through Coruscant right now.
All right, wait, there's more stuff. Let's watch.
What's cool is all the characters have their own skill trees and power-ups, and as you level them up, you unlock different moves and things like that. It looks like they're doing pretty well.
They're doing great. Okay, one more time. Let's listen. Go. All right, what was that?
They're coming up on a boss battle now. They're fighting General Grievous, and they're ripping through this playset. They're doing pretty
They really know what
advanced
they're
right
doing,
now. Yeah,
and Mom's
they
having
do.
a good time too.
Yeah, and what's fun is if you have the younger kids, they can kind of just button mash, and they're going to have a satisfying experience. But if you're a little more technical or advanced, you can unlock those combos and find special moves. So there's a skill level for all different types of players.
And really, it's a great gift for the whole family. It's a great gift for the holidays, really year-round.
Yeah, well, everybody has a character they can relate to. And what's cool about year-round is if you have 1.0 or a 2.0, all those characters are forward compatible. So you still have value in those older characters. They'll all work in the 3.0 edition toy box mode, which is a lot of fun.
Can we look one more time?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look one more time.
No.
I feel like
So
I'm
just
there.
like that,
Okay,
the
take me there.
characters
What were they doing?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to say they're in the toy box mode here, and the toy box mode is kind of the heart of Infinity, right?
How does that work?
Well, this is where kids can really express their creativity. They can build worlds, they can tell their own stories, and use their imagination. And it's up to them what they want to create. And this is where you mix and match all the characters. So it's a lot of fun.
Get ready.
I'll
Great
be
for the
coming
holidays.
back.
You're going to come back. You got to come
There's
back.
so much more to come.
So where do we get Disney Infinity 3.0? Because I know my daughter's going to write it on Santa's list.
Well, you can get it at all major retailers, and you can. There's more info on disney.com/infinity, where you can learn a lot about the game. Figures make great stocking stuffers for your
is true.
kids.
This is
Also, there's
true.
little power disc packs, so there's a lot of stuff for Christmas available.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, it's great being here.
Definitely expecting you soon again.
I hope so.
And if you're looking for a great way to spend the holidays with your family, consider family game night with friends and family and Disney Infinity 3.0. And of course, you can always go to our website, thebalancingact.com. This is for sure. I'll be there at my house.
I got to the breaking point and went to see a doctor when we were trying to enjoy a musical and I was getting up and walking out. This is it. I'm not going to let this rule my life anymore.
What you're listening to may sound all too familiar. If it is, you're probably one of 7 million Americans suffering from restless leg syndrome, or RLS. Yet with so many affected out there, why are so many doctors still not acknowledging RLS as a true medical condition? Well, here to answer that question is RLS and sleep disorder specialist, Dr. Richard Bogan, and here to share her personal journey to overcome RLS is Shirley Ness. It is so good. This is such an important topic. Thank you for coming in the studio today. Thank you. Shirley, I want to start with you. And where did it all start for you? And how long ago did you start with your symptoms?
I was in my late teens. I was in college. I couldn't sit through the long lectures. I had to keep moving my legs around, and I was so glad to get up and move around when they were over.
And teachers probably thought, oh, she's hyperactive, she's squirming, she can't sit still. And how did it affect then your life, your job, your family?
Because I couldn't sleep at night, I was rolling around, I was kicking around, I had to get up and walk half the night. I was exhausted, so I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. Like, for instance, I played the organ since I was in high school, and I had to stop because
Really?
I couldn't sit still.
And how did your doctor respond when you told him your symptoms?
I said the symptoms to him, and he looked at me and said, "You have RLS. You have restless leg syndrome."
Thank goodness he was able to
Yes.
diagnose you, but how
Yes.
old were you when that happened?
Oh, it was about 15 years later, because as you get older, it gets worse. So I got to the point where I was desperate, and I went to him.
Great. And Dr. Bogan, I know this is a real disease affecting millions of people, but isn't it true that many doctors out there are still not acknowledging it?
It's interesting. RLS is really prevalent and it's medically important. I'm intrigued. 30 years ago, we thought this was a rare disorder, but now with scientific study and research, we know that 10% of the population, the adult population, has some symptoms at some time, and 3% of the adult population, it's moderate to severe and interferes with sleep and causes significant impairment of function.
But it affects children too.
It can. We know children with growing pains
Yeah.
could likely have restless leg syndrome and oftentimes are mistaken for ADHD.
What are the important signs you, doctor, look for when you're diagnosing this?
Well, the patients tell us that they have this unbelievable urge to move. So it's worse in the evening hours with rest. And if they do move around, they get temporary relief from the symptoms. So it greatly impacts sleep. I mean, when you're resting at night trying to get to sleep
Yes.
is the worst time.
Worst
so sleep
time.
is disturbed. And they have spontaneous leg movements, and they have leg movements during sleep. So it disturbs sleep and affects next day function. They're tired, they're sleepy.
And any positive updates on like treatment options?
Well, fortunately, we have lots of good treatment options now. So the main thing is to recognize the disorder. If you don't recognize the disorder, you will not make the diagnosis. And these folks are significantly impaired, and now we have good treatment options available.
Thank you so much, doctor. And when we come back, we'll also hear Shirley's advice on living well with RLS, so stay right there. Welcome back to The Balancing Act. We are rejoined by sleep disorder specialist Dr. Richard Bogan and by restless leg syndrome patient advocate Shirley Ness. We learned some interesting things, but now let's get specific. Doctor, what are the symptoms and symptom patterns for RLS?
Right. These individuals have the uncontrollable urge to move their legs. So we have these 4 definitions: uncontrollable urge to move the legs, oftentimes associated with pain or funny feelings, creepy
Right.
crawly feelings. It is worse in the evening hours.
Okay.
Comes on with rest.
Okay.
And the urge to move is so bad that they get up and move around. If they move around and get temporary relief or relief from the symptoms, then that's restless leg syndrome.
Wow. And because the symptoms are mild and they get worse with age, does that often cause like a delay in diagnosis?
Absolutely. Many of the patients actually present to their physician with insomnia or can't sleep or tired.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So they're seeing their doc about hypertension or diabetes or whatever problem they have.
Yes.
And then as they're leaving, oh, by the way, I can't sleep. And if you don't ask the question, do your legs bother you? Is it in your mind or is it in your legs?
Right.
You will not make the diagnosis. You have to ask those 4 questions.
4 questions, very important. Shirley, how long did it take for you to reach that diagnosis with your doctor?
It took about 15 years.
Right.
They started out mild.
Right.
But as I got older, it got worse. And I got to that point where I could not sleep. I could not do things with my family. It completely ruined my life. So I went to the doctor.
And during those 15 years that you were undiagnosed, did you ever tell anyone your symptoms that specifically? Or was it just that it wasn't an awareness that wasn't there?
I had never heard of restless leg
See?
syndrome. It was something new to me.
And it must have been an encouragement because this disease has such a profound effect on a person's quality of life.
Yes.
And for you, it must have
Yes.
been a huge change to be diagnosed.
Oh, it was. I was able to go back and doing things with my family that I couldn't do before. I could go to movies, I could sit through sporting events. All these things I had given up.
Oh my gosh, what a relief.
Yes.
And doctor, someone out there experiencing these symptoms, burning in the legs, I guess it feels creepy and crawly and it's hard to sleep. How do you start that conversation with your doctor?
Well, I think it's important for the patients to know that there's treatment available. And so you have to talk to your physician. You have to describe the symptoms and make sure that you describe this uncontrollable urge to move. And again, those 4
doctor,
things.
what are the treatment options available?
Well, we have several treatments. We have dopamine agonists and alpha-2 delta ligands and opioids. So there are treatments available for this disorder, but you've got to ask your physician about what's going on.
Absolutely. And Shirley, how are you feeling today?
Oh, 100% better.
Really?
All these things that I couldn't do, I'm doing now. I'm making up for lost time.
And you're sleeping?
I'm sleeping.
And what advice would you give to our viewers or our audience members out there that might be feeling some of these, symptoms coming on?
Well, definitely go to a doctor who knows restless leg syndrome. Describe your symptoms. There is help out there. You shouldn't have to suffer.
Wonderful advice, such an important topic. Thank you so much for both joining me today. It was a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's very important to diagnose.
Yes, it is. If any of the RLS symptoms we mentioned sound familiar to you or you need some support and resources, head to rls.org, restlesslegs.com, or norestforrls.com. And of course, you can also log on to thebalancingact.com as well.
And education is certainly one of the most important tools for a successful future. Sometimes the average tuition can be too costly. However, this morning, we're going to tell you about Florida International University, or FIU, which offers online and brick-and-mortar campus classes and degrees at half the national average cost. FIU is a highly accredited university in the U.S., and with me this morning, Christina Chung, FIU online success coach, and Jennifer Latham, an FIU online student. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for being here. I was reading here, Christina, this is pretty amazing. You are the 4th largest public university. I did not know that, and I lived around that area for, I think, 20 years, by enrollment, and 54,000 students. That's so impressive. Let's talk about that online application and admission. Easy, how does it work?
Yeah, so our fully online programs now have been up and running for 4 years, and it's the same process as it is for an on-campus student.
Okay.
So you submit your application, you make sure you meet the requirements, you give in all the documentation, and then you're in.
Jennifer, is that what you did?
Yeah, it was fully online. I mean, I'm a fully online student, but I figured I would at least have to drive down there, turn in paperwork. None of that. I just filled out the forms online, submitted everything, and I was done.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
What I like also, I was reading here, is Success Coach Model. You offer that to all students that enroll?
So every student that's a fully online student enrolled in any of those classes has a success coach assigned to them.
And what do they do?
What that means is you have somebody that's going to support you and be with you throughout your entire time, from the moment you start all the way until the point that you graduate.
Wow, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
How has that helped you, Jennifer?
It's just an extra push. It's knowing that there's somebody else in your corner, that they're there to support you. It gives you reassurance that you can do this. They offer you skills, advice to make sure that you are successful in your school, career.
You want to add something?
Yeah, so we also have a number of resources for our fully online students. We have free online tutoring, we have career services, we have librarian services. So we don't want you to feel that if you're not on campus, you miss out. We still want you to feel just as connected as an on-campus student would feel.
Because when you go on campus, and I know you have a great campus, you feel like you really do have that help and the tools and services. So when you do online, you have the same thing too. Mm-hmm. How have you used those tools, Jennifer?
Just knowing that they're there, it's more for a peace of mind, because it is a little bit scary to jump out of the comfort zone of what college should look like. So when you're going online, you feel like you're alone, but you really aren't. You use them for group projects, you have interaction with your classmates. There's discussions that you participate in with your teachers as well as the other students in your class as well.
You don't feel lost?
No, there's always somebody there kind of helping you, holding your hand, guiding you through the process.
And let's talk about the non-traditional student. I know you went back to school because you did not finish, is that correct?
Correct.
Tell me about what happened.
I have been trying to get my bachelor's for 13 years.
13 years?
13 years. I had my son when I was very young, and unfortunately at that point, I had to stop. I had to work full time, make sure that I was taking care of his needs. And then when I did get married, my husband was in the Army, so we moved to Oklahoma, so there was a blip there. Then when he got deployed, I was pregnant with my second child.
Oh boy.
So it was too much, and I chose family, and making sure that my kids were happy over education.
But now
we're home, we're back, we're settled, and it's my turn. It's my time. Everyone in my family has a higher education. My parents have masters. I want mine too. It's my turn.
And that's a
is
song,
it.
by the way, by Diana Ross. And this online program is really helping you achieve that.
Absolutely.
That's what I love hearing. And even me, I've even thought about going back to get my master's, and I'm always using the time factor, but I can do it too. Anybody can do it, right?
Yeah, we have students that are in other cities, other states, other countries. I have a student in Africa, 2 in Chile, and they're worlds away and they're still connected to the university. They still have this opportunity to get their master's. There's so many of our students that work full time, they have kids, they're taking care of their parents, but you can do it. You can still do it.
And we also have to really note here that it's not just online. FIU, the campus has grown tremendously. It is huge. And I do want to tout the fact, you're really on the map, that it is the #1 granting institution for undergrad and graduate degrees for Hispanics. It's come a long way.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we want to engage with our students, we want to educate them, and we want to empower them to accomplish the goals that they have. If her goal is to get her master's, it's possible.
Well, in about 4 years, you might be having a little Samantha, who is my daughter, who says she wants to go to FIU. So there you go, there you have it.
Wonderful.
For our viewers out there who'd like more information on FIU, what's the website?
It's fiuonline.com.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, and
Thank you.
You're going to do it.
I'm doing it.
What's the degree in?
Interdisciplinary studies.
Good job. All right. Thank you so much. You come back and you tell us when you finish.
You got it. Absolutely.
All right. And for more information on FIU, again, the website, fiuonline.com, or go to our website, thebalancingact.com.
Thanks so much for starting your morning right here with us.
And if you need more information, head to our website. It's thebalancingact.com.
We're also on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time,
Remember, find your balance.
So long, everybody.